This is the Rush Hour. I am Ghazal, and it is 6:08. We are at the half of our show, and most of people must have reached home. Some of them are still on their way. I hope they are not encountering any traffic. If you are, 8989, let me know where it is. I'll let everybody else know as well. All right, I was mentioning earlier that we will have a special guest on this show with us today, and a little bit of introduction with that be is that she is a she, and she's from Lead Pakistan, which is going through a water conference. Is that right, Maheen? Can you please introduce yourself?
This is very right, Rahel. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah, so I'm Maheen. I'm from Lead Pakistan, Associate Coordinator over there, and we are organizing a water conference indeed on Tuesday, the 1st of November. It's going to open to participants, and request participation is through our website. I'm sure we're going to talk about that a bit later. It's going to be on water governance, regional water governance, focusing on transboundary issues and cooperation, most importantly. And it's also part of a larger initiative and water program that Lead Pakistan is launching.
Okay, so where will this exactly be?
So the conference is going to take place in the Marriott in Islamabad, and it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we're having an expert roundtable in the morning, so people who are more specialized on water issues can come and join in and have the opportunity to meet our international expert that we're bringing both from France and from Afghanistan, because we're going to be talking about all those regional and international issues. So we have international experts coming in. It's going to be a roundtable. It's going to be open to the audience for them to participate and ask questions. The afternoon is a more, I would say, like audience-friendly event. So it's going to be a media event. It's going to be recorded to be on air on TV. And
okay, so this is like a big event. You guys are getting like great
big events. It's a huge event. It's very interesting for us to get into that. It's a great opportunity to network with the whole water sector and for people to engage with this new issue that is collaboration between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and which is also a new perspective on water cooperation and partnership in Pakistan.
So what do you expect from this conference? I mean, like, what are the results? What do you think? Would it do any good?
Well, we're hoping, you're always hoping that it would do some good. But I think the main expectations are we're trying to keep it low-key. We're trying to keep it realistic, and we're trying to keep it within the boundaries on what's achievable and possible. And what's achievable for us is to make our small contribution to what's the water governance in Pakistan. What's the state of the water governance in Pakistan is pretty complex. It's pretty difficult to step in. Loads of actors, loads of issues, loads of debates.
Loads. Too much.
On forever. Like just forever.
And you just think it won't ever end. Like seriously. But it's a good thing that, something is coming out of it, and props up to you guys for actually bringing this about. Let's go ahead and listen to a song, and then you can let me know who the speakers will be and who is sponsoring this and all that good stuff. Okay?
Fantastic.
All right. Coming up is Notorious B.I.G. with Juicy. If you have any questions that you want to ask Maheen about this Lead Pakistan Water Conference, which is sponsored by the French Embassy in Pakistan, 8989, with your name and city name, and she will answer them for you as well. All right, we have Maheen in the studio with us, who is leading or helping out in the Lead Pakistan Water Conference that's going on in the Marriott on Wednesday, 1st of November. And this is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it's sponsored by the French Embassy, right? Those are the people that you've partnershiped with. Right? So let us know a little bit more about the speakers and why the French Embassy has sponsored this and how they are connecting with Lead and how is everything coming out. Like I told you, I'm a music girl. You're the one that can tell me everything about this. So go on.
I don't know if I can tell you everything about it, but what I can tell you is that we're going to have loads of interesting speakers, and we're going to have speakers with great experience in Pakistan. And Shamsul Mulk, for example, is one of them. He was former director of WAPDA, so he's going to have loads of insight about how partnership and how water management governance was working in Pakistan in the past, and what his point of view on what's happening now in Pakistan. But we also want to be forward-looking, so we're going to have a lot of new actors actors within the Pakistani scene coming in, and we're going to have people with some experience like Simi Kamal. She's a great expert on water issues. She's going to bring a lot of insight to the conversation. She's got a very different point of view, which is going to make the debates very lively, very interesting. Then we're also going to have international people coming in.
Okay.
We're going to have people that have been working in the region before, and we're going to have people that...
So these are people that are familiar with...
Exactly.
Okay.
Everybody is going to be pretty familiar with the region and the water politics of the region. And they're going to bring perspective from technical aspect of the water sector. They're going to bring a perspective from more contextual, like coming up international relations, politics, governance. How does that work? How should it work? What's the steps you should take to make it work, actually? Then the very particular perspective we're going to take as well is bringing in people that have expertise on water scarcity issues, climate change, demography, population.
Okay, so there's a lot more involving here than we think that there is.
Of course. When you talk about water, you can talk about anything and everything. Water is the center
Yeah,
of...
it affects everything. You're right. I didn't think of it that way, but now you got me thinking. I'm thinking, girl. Seriously.
I'm very proud of that, and I'm very happy that I made my small contribution.
Yes,
We're talking about the contribution that Lead Pakistan could make in the water sector, and that's definitely one thing that we want to start is try and get people to think about it. Think about the fact that...
And to get aware about what's going on and what's happening and why there's so much frustration where it happens. Like, seriously, like, I mean, a person like me really has no idea whatsoever. I don't know what to expect or whatever. I can just sit here and be like, why don't we got water? What's wrong with the government? What's wrong with the people? But the things that you're saying, like so many things affect it is... You know?
I mean, basically, you're talking about water every day. You're talking about the floods. You're talking about the shortage. You're talking about energy, and energy is also linked with water here. You're talking about cooperation with different countries around you. You're talking about cooperation within your country, in between the provinces, in between the local actors. Everything can be like
based around water. Even electricity, for that matter. The biggest issue we have in this country. Like, seriously.
It is definitely. It is definitely. So the contribution is... By focusing on that sector, the contribution can be enormous. And there is so much work to be done on water governance in Pakistan. Pakistan has a history of successes, actually. Pakistan has been managing an extremely complicated and complex system, which is the Indus Basin. And they've done it protecting the food security of most of the population up until now, which is amazing. But when you look at the future, and that's what Lead Pakistan is trying to do, be forward-looking, you look at all this anticipated scarcity, you look at demography going up, you look at climate change, bringing some water by having glacier meltings and everything, but then maybe producing some shortages of water. So you have all those consequences, impact, issues coming up. And then you have cooperation in terms of, do we want to fight around water, or do you actually want to collaborate and use it as a stepping stone for peace building within the country and within the region? That's all those questions that you can ask yourself when you look at the future of water within Pakistan. And that's all the questions that we want to put on the table and start
finding solutions every way. Who would have thought that water could actually be a peacemaker as well between countries? I mean, now that is something that is... Fantastic thought. Well, we'll hold that thought, and we have an ad break coming up. So we're going to go on to the ad break and come back and talk a little more, listen to a little more music, and then wrap it up, okay? All right, we have some questions here from Mehreen, and let's see. We have Omero who writes in and he says, objectively speaking, what exactly is the bottom line goal? Or is this one of these futile exercises where people get in a hotel and achieve nothing and go home? So that's a question for you, Mehreen. That's the first one. We have another one as well. We'll jump onto that as soon as you want to answer this one.
I'm very, very glad and very happy, very grateful that this question came up, because, I mean, to me, this is the most important question. And I personally despise organizations that just keep on throwing conferences, people that just keep on, coming to free lunch and just like talking to their old friend, because it's always the same people that you see there, and that's exactly what we don't want to happen. And I'm coming here, I'm organizing, coordinating this conference, but I'm also coordinating what is going to be the water program of Lead Pakistan. And basically, I don't see this conference as an end. I don't see this conference as my main goal and my main objective, even though it's taking a lot of my time lately. But this is only a way for us to reach some key experts in the field, to launch some discussion. But it's not an end in itself. It's going to give us some knowledge.
Yeah, some inspiration.
It's going to give us a network. It's going to give us some momentum. And it's going to give us a stepping stone to launch that water program. And then...
Yeah, and direction as well, possibly.
It's extremely important. And we've been talking about that. As we say, it's a lot of talks. It gets tiring in the end. It's frustrating. And frustration is always there, but it's a necessary step. And what LEAD will do after that, and where we will take this conference and what we learn from that conference, is what we're the best at, meaning leadership, meaning engaging with communities, meaning engaging with processes. And here we can jump to the second question, I believe.
Yeah, the second question is from Amir Shakil from Islamabad. And he writes in that his question is there any water policy implemented in Pakistan? And what is the role of LEADs in water policy implementation?
Well, and that's very linked to our first question. That's very linked to the frustration that there is today around talking, conferences, policy drafting, endless political processes. There is no water policy implemented at the national level in Pakistan. It's not implemented because there is no water policy at the national level.
Oh my, is that true?
It is very true. It was drafted many years ago. It was tried to be passed many different times. It's a long process to get a policy. There's so many actors.
So much involved, yeah.
So much involved. And at the moment, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get that process to the provincial level because it's stuck at the national level, basically. So we're trying to get it done at the provincial at least, so that some direction is given to the water sector. You have many policies involved. You have policies about agriculture, forestry. All of that is, of course, linked to how water is going to be managed. But there's no national water policy at the national level per se. Regarding the role of LEAD Pakistan in policies, I said that I get very frustrated with conferences, talks, and people that just, put on an image and try and pretend that they're doing something when actually they're not doing something. So getting involved in the policy making in Pakistan is something very interesting, but it's something that many actors are already tackling. And LEAD doesn't want to be another actor that is going to replicate what's already going to happen. So we're only going to jump in the policy sector if we can make a great difference. And at the moment, to be honest, I don't see that opportunity for us. I see many opportunities. I see many things many challenges that need to be addressed in Pakistan in the water sector. Leadership problems.
Yeah, this is a long process. This cannot happen overnight.
Exactly.
But it's good to see that there's an effort. That's what we were talking about off air as well, that at least there's an effort. You're thinking on those lines, and this is happening. That means that you guys do know, and everybody else around, that there is a problem and it has to be addressed. But you first have to talk about it and have to find some solutions. And then the implementation part takes later. And that's a long process.
And the implementation is going to come sooner than we think. And we're going to jump into it 100%. To just come back to the conference briefly. So the main theme is Regional Water Conference. We're going to talk about scarcity issues. We're going to talk about cooperation. Cooperation to me is very important because, just as you said, water doesn't have to always be conflictual. It can always be a collaborative peace process, actually. And that's why it's very interesting and very, exciting as well. It's a new issue. It's a new way to approach the issue. That's what the conference is intending to do. So it's on Tuesday, the 1st of November. It's at the Marriott. It's in Islamabad. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you want to register, just go on our website. So that's www.lead.org.pk/water_governance and /. So that's the website. You can register on it. You can ask any question you want. You can contact us through it, and we'll be more than happy to have you at the conference and to hear your contribution on that day. And it's going to be recorded. It's going to be on TV. It's getting
media coverage as well.
There's loads of media coverage. You have videos on the website. You have different articles that you can consult. It's going to be a great resource page as well for people who are interested in those issues.
No, that's great. Well, I wish you all good luck.
Thank you.
and
much.
Really do appreciate that whatever you guys are doing and the effort, and hopefully there will be solutions. But thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all this with us.
Thank you so much.
I bet it will be fantastic.
Thank you
Good
so much.
luck,
I
and
hope so.
Really,
as well.
really good meeting you.